Okay guys, hello everyone. I'm Gautam from Facebook. Yesterday we see one question. For now also, we'll go to discuss one more question based on the TCS Codevita, right? So actually it is not a little complicated one, but yes, I can able to solve in some different ways. Okay, without any further delay, we just try to solve this question. After that, we will discuss what are the possibilities are there to solve this one. We first of all try to understand this question, right? So, okay, first of all, read the question as what is the question? Ron Weasley has been bit by a three-headed snake, and Harry Potter is searching for a potion, the witch promises to tell the ingredients of the medicine if Harry can find equipair of an array. Listen to the conversation between Harry, the witch, to know more about equipairs. So it's nothing but a story. They just provide on story is nothing but okay. There is one snake is biter by Ron Weasley. He need to Harry Potter need to secure him. He need to recover that person. So for that he's get the help from witch. So okay, fine. It's just a story. For now, the exact question is you need to find out the Harry is nothing but you need to find out the equipairs. So what is this equipairs? So for that they just ask you to read the conversation. So to find an equipair, you must know how to find the slices first. What is a slice? If Z is an array with n elements, a slice of indices x comma y is z of x plus z of x plus 1 plus z of y. So consider you have a array values as like this. So they mention as array name is z. So I also declare as z. So consider you have array values as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So now this is nothing but 0th index position, this is nothing but first index position, this is nothing but second index position, third and then fourth, right? Now what is the slices? Is nothing but consider they provide some other two values x comma y. So x comma y, what is this x comma y? Okay, just goes to take some value. Consider the x value is equal to 1 comma the y value is equal to, assume that is equal to 3, right? So 1 comma 3. So now what I need to do is I need to take this particular index part, which means I need to take the index position 1 from z array to index position 3 from z array. So I want to take this index position values from 1, 2, 3. Is nothing but we just goes to take the subarray, right? We just goes to take the subarray of this particular one based on the values x and y. X is the starting of the subarray and y is the ending of the subarray. I just goes to take this one. So the answer is nothing but the slice is nothing but I need to sum of these three values. So 2 plus 3 plus 4. So I need to add all these values. Okay, this is the line they mentioned as slice. Now how can I use it to find equipair? Okay, now say okay, this is the meaning of slices. They mentioned this is slices. Now what is an equipair? The which says that a comma b is an equipair if slice of 0 comma a minus 1 is equal to slice of a plus 1 comma b minus 1 is equal to slice of b plus 1 comma n minus 1, and the b value should be greater than a plus 1 and size of array greater than 4. So what is this? Is nothing but okay, here they mention what is the slices. If I take x comma y means okay, I want to take z and z of x to z of y. I need to add all these values. So here for an equipair what they mentioned is I want to take the slice of 0 comma up to a minus 1. Okay, if it is an a comma b is an equipair, a comma b is an equipair means I goes to check this one 0 comma a minus 1, size of slice of 0 a plus b minus 1 is equal to slice of b plus 1 comma n minus 1. So better we take one value as a comma b. So they mentioned as what is that? The 0 comma a minus 1 should be equal to 0 comma, sorry, what is it, a plus 1 comma b minus, sorry, right. So a comma b minus 1 is equal to, my value should be equal to b plus 1 comma n minus 1. Here n is nothing but number of elements. The n is nothing but number of elements, right? So okay, they just replace this x value, x and y values like this. So which means consider the a value is equal to 1, or okay, consider the a is equal to 2. Consider the a value is equal to 2 and then b value is equal to 3, right? So which means I goes to take the values like this, 0 comma a minus 1 becomes 1. Okay, this is just one example. Okay, and a plus 1 is nothing but, what is it, 1 a1 plus 1, it becomes 2 comma what, b minus 1 d comma 3, which means I start from third index and I need to end with third index. I just take this only one value alone, right? Likewise 5 comma 4, there is no fifth index, like there is no fifth index is applicable here, so this is not possible, so I just leave it out. Now what is an a value is 2 and what is an b value 4. For this I just get an positions as like this. So now I hope you understand what is this slices and what they mentioned here as 0 comma a minus 1 slice of a plus 1 comma b minus 1 and b plus 1 comma n minus 1. So and the size of array should be equal. So let's try to understand little bit properly. So sorry, the conversation. The first input contain an n integer denotes the size of an array, and an array of n integers delimited by white space. Okay, obviously I just goes to get two inputs from the user. One is the size of an array in the name of n and the array values. I just goes to get these two things as a user input. Now I just want to print equipair in first line in the format a comma b and print slices in the format. Okay, or else array does not contain any equipair if there is no equipairs in the array. So what they mentioned actually, just try to understand here. Just check, I'm sorry. Okay, just check here what they mentioned. If a comma b is equipair is a slice of 0 comma a minus 1, a plus 1 comma b minus 1. So what is the meaning is, you just goes to take three subarrays, 0 comma 1, 3 comma 3, 5 comma 4, and all these values should be equal. If I add the 0th index and first index, maybe I just get an answer 3. Okay, for this I get an answer as 3. Likewise, if I add the second subarray 3 comma 3, means also I need to get an answer as 3. If I add the, okay, consider this is possible. For now, just assume that this is possible. Okay, okay, or else for now I just take the value as one more value as 6, and this is the fifth index. Now if I add these two values, I just take it as, for now if I add all these values, I just consider I goes to get the value as, okay, which means it's 5, right? I just goes to get the answer as 3, assume it. If all these values are equal to one particular value, means I say this is an equipair. So then the equipair values are a comma b. What is an a value is 2, what is an b value is 4. So a and b are the equipair values. I just want to return this as an equipair. So according to the question, I need to find out this a and b value by checking, by changing different subarrays, with changing addition values to the different subarrays. So I am the person, so our purpose is, according to the question, we need to find out the two values a and then b. So what is an A and B? Okay, for now I assume that 2 and then water 4 as a and B values, and I check this particular subarrays. What is the condition to take the subarrays? Okay, if the A value is equal to 2 means I need to take a subarray part of 0 to A minus 1 and A plus 1 to B minus 1 and B plus 1 to N minus 1. So which means I need to skip the two particular values. Here check this, for this two subarrays I take this split into separate part and I just split this into separate part. Here I just here I skip this index position 2, right? Likewise for and 4 I just split this value as a separate array subarray. I just split it into separate subarray. So here I just skip this index position 4. So now if all these three subarrays are giving a same output, same sum value means I just say that okay, this index position 2 and index position 4 is the equipair. I just want to say return this as a final answer, right? So better we say one additional input, sample input. So what they mentioned, this array should be greater than or equal to 0. So it's nothing but the array index value should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, which means there is no index there is no negative values are there, and 1 less than or equal to the n value. Okay, and also they mentioned that okay the n should be greater than less than or equal to n also, or else it should be greater than 1 also. They just give the values which is in this one, right? Okay, they just mention the array size. The array size should be greater than 1, right? And also they mention, okay, I'm not telling, they just give one more line, size of array n should be greater than 4, right? Obviously. So and also according to the constraint, the b value should be greater than a plus 1. So that's why we declared b is equal to a plus 2. So we need, okay, this is the constraint for us. Both the constraints are given as a user input. So this one we need to follow this. Why? Because we are the person who goes to find out this a and b value, right? Now better we take this example, 8, 3 and 4. Sorry, I can't able to copy this one. So I just take out the values 8, 3, 5, 2, 10, 607, 905 and 2. So consider this as 0th index, first, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? So I need to check the values one by one. So I need to find out the subarray. So for now I assume that a is equal to 0 and then b is equal to a plus 2, which means obviously what, 2, right? So now for now I assume that 0 is the value and 2 is the value. So but obviously it is not possible, right? Why? Because according to this I need to split into two parts. If I check this first part means it is take the previous value 0, 1, which means I have a left side subarray also, I have a right side subarray also for a and b, both the cases. If I take 0 as here, a value means I didn't have any left side sub value, right? I didn't have any left side sub value, so obviously it didn't goes to get the answer. So it is not possible. So better I start from 1. So here consider the value 1 is an a value and I assume that b is equal to a plus 2. Why? Because the b value should be greater than a plus 1, then only I get the mid value properly, right? Why? Because here according to the case I need to take up to b minus 1th position. So on this case if I give b is equal to 1 means obviously I get a reverse order of the value. So it is not possible and also it is not applicable properly. So that's why they mentioned one condition as like this, b should be greater than a plus 1. So 1 plus 2 it becomes 3. So for now I assume that a is equal to 1, b is equal to 3. For this, what are the subarrays I goes to get? So I goes to get the subarray as 0, a minus 1. So if I take this, okay, I just want to take this part. 0 comma a minus 1. So 0 to a 1 minus 1, it became 0. So I just take this particular position 0 as alone. So 0 comma 0 is equal to, what is this? What is the another thing I want to check? Is nothing but a plus 1 comma b minus 1. So what is an a plus 1 value? Is nothing but 2, the second index position, to b minus 1, the second index position. So I just take this value alone. So 2 comma 2. After this, what is the value? B plus 1. So it's became 3 plus 1. I just goes to take the value as 4. So 4 comma n minus 1. So it's nothing but there is 10 values are there. So I just goes to take the value as 10 minus 1, 9. So it goes to check up to the 9th index position. So now what is the answer for this? So what is the answer for this? Actually 0 comma 0. So I goes to take only one index position, is nothing but 8. So here the value is 8. Whether is it equal to 2 comma 2. What is the second index? Okay, here I just goes to take the second index value alone. What is the second index value? 5. So here the value is 5. So I just take this value as 5. And what is 4 comma 9? So I want to take the index position from 4 to 9. So what if I add all these values? Why? Because according to the case I want to add all these values. So 10, 16 and okay, actually I got it done. So 12, it becomes what? 5 plus 2. So okay, I think I just get an answer as 39, right? Okay, I just get an answer as 39. So whether all these values are equal here? Not actually. So the values are not equal. So what I goes to do next? So now I goes to change the a and b value now. So instead of taking this b is equal to 3, so I try to add something else. So now I make this a value is equal to 1 as it is, and I goes to increase the second subarray size. So I goes to make b is equal to 4 now. Now what is the values I get? For an a, I just goes to get the same values. It became 0 comma 0. So I just get an answer as 8 alone. For an b, it goes to check from second index to third index. So 5 plus 2, I get an answer as 7. For an next one, so 4 plus 1, 5. So I just goes to take from 5th index to 9th index. So here I just goes to get an answer as 29. So now also all these three values are not equal. So now I try to influence the a value once again as like this. A is equal to 1 now, and I goes to change b is equal to 5. So now also I get the answer as 8. Now 8 plus 1, what is the answer? It's second index. So b is equal to 5. So I just goes to take up to 4th index position. So 5 plus 2 plus 10, I get the answer as what? 15, 17. So I just get the answer as 17 is equal to, now it is 5. So b plus 1 to n minus 1. So I goes to take the index position from 6 to 9, right? So if I add all these values means 19, 20, 21, 22. So okay, I just get the answer as 23. So here in this cases, all these cases are not satisfied. So here simply what we goes to do is, I goes to take one a value as stable, I parallelly increasing the b value one by one to take the second subarray, right? Now okay, if I make this a is equal to 1, obviously it didn't goes to get this value as 3, didn't goes to get the same equal sum value. So now up to, okay, actually it goes to increase this b value up to 8. Why? Because the b value can't able to reach the 9th position. Why? Because I need to take this from up to 9 minus n minus 1. So maybe I can able to check 9th index alone as a b value, but according to this I need to increase, start from b plus 1, and I need to take the b value as the equipair value. So it is not possible, I can't able to take the value as 9. So I need to stop it from up to 8, value 8 alone, right? Then only I get a proper answer. Or else if I reach up to the n minus 1th position, means there is no subarray for an right side of b. There is only left side subarray for b. There is no right side subarray for b. So I won't get this one. I won't get this part properly. So now once I did reach up to the 8th position, after that also I didn't get any value. So now I parallelly goes to increment the a value also. Now I goes to increase a is equal to 2 as like this. And if a is equal to 2 means obviously I goes to increase b is equal to a plus 2. So it becomes 4, right? So now I goes to take this 2 as a value. So the 0 comma 1 is the first subarray, and 3 is the second subarray, and 5 to 9 is the third subarray. Now okay, for this also I won't get an answer. Now I goes to increment the value as 5. Okay, this is the first subarray, this 3 is the second subarray, this 3 and 4 is the second subarray, and now I goes to take 6 to 9 as the third subarray. Now also I goes to didn't get the same answer. So I goes to get the same answer in this particular situation. A is equal to 3 and then B is equal to 6. If I take A is equal to 3rd index position and B is equal to 6th index position, means what happens? A is equal to 3rd index position and B is equal to 6th index position. Now what happens? Let's take the value from 0 to 3 minus 1, it becomes 2. So I goes to take up to 2nd index position. Now what is the second one? A plus 1 to B minus 1. So what is an A value? 3. So 3 plus 1, 4. I goes to take from 4th index position to 5th index position here. Now parallelly, so it becomes B is equal to 6. So I goes to take from 7th index position to 9th index position. So what if I add all these values? 0 comma 2. So 0th index to 2nd index. What if I add all these 3 values? I get the answer as 16, right? For this I get the answer as 16. Now 4 to 5. If I add these 2 index positions, I get the answer as 16. Now for this third one, 7 comma 9. So 7 to 9. What if I add all these 3 index position values? Sorry, from 7 to 9. Okay, I just get the answer as up to 7 to 9, right? So what if I add all these values? 9, 5 and then 2. So I get the answer as 60. So for this case, for all these 3 subarrays, I get a sum value as 60. So all the subarray sum value is equal to 60. So here the equipair is 3, 6. So simply what I goes to do is, I make A value as a stable one. I goes to slightly change the B values for an each and every time to take a different subarrays, and parallel goes to change the A value also. Once I didn't get an subarray, I goes to increase the A value also, and I try to find some different subarrays once again. If any of the case, if I find out 3 subarrays value is equal to subarray sum value is equal to the another subarray, means each subarrays, means I say it as an equipair. The equipair values are A and then B. So here the equipair values are 3 and 6. Why? Because once I take the A value as 3 and B value as 6, on this case only I get this three different subarrays. So this three different subarrays values, sum value is equal. That's why. Now, how should we write a code for this? Simply, obviously, we just goes to write a for loop. I just start the a value from 0 to, okay, I don't want to run up to the last position. Why? Because they mentioned that up to okay, they mentioned what is this one, the a value should be, the b value should be greater than a plus 1. So, and also I don't want to reach the last position of n, or I don't want to reach the nth position also in the name of b. So I want to run this loop up to the range of n minus 2 alone, right? Likewise, inside this one, I will goes to check one more thing as for, actually I need to take a b value, it should be greater than a plus 1. So I start the b value from a plus 2 to the range of less than, to the range of n minus 1, right? So here also I want to include up to n minus 3. Okay, I just don't want to take the n minus second position, so I just want to run up to n minus 3, right? So here we just goes to take an different subarrays positions. So we just goes to add that particular subarrays, and I need to return that particular subarrays, right? So what we do for that? Okay, we try to complete first of all up to this one, right? So what is the first step? I need to get on two inputs, the array in size and an array values, and then I need to run this a value and b value in this particular range. Okay, we try to complete up to this one. So I take my compiler. Okay. Okay, I need a public method. So just give a public method here. Right. So okay, I needed a scanner class. So I just import the scanner class here. So scanner. Right. So we just try to declare an object for the scanner. So scanner in is equal to, okay, don't waste the time for this. So scanner of system. Right. So now I need to get the size of an array. So int n is equal to, I just get this one. So parallel declare one array in the name of z. So z is equal to dot x, right? So I'm sorry, I just want to declare an array, right? So I just declare an array as integer at the size of m. Now I need to get an array values. So right. So set of I is equal to dot next int. Okay, here I just get include a scanner class. With the help of scanner, I just goes to get an array input as a array size as input and array values as a input. I declare an array in the name of z, right? Now according to this case, I need to find out the a and then b value. So for that I need to take a different subarrays. So I goes to write on for loop, whether a is equal to 0 to a less than n minus 2, I goes to increment the a value, right? So inside this one, I want to find out the b value. So the b value start from a plus 2 to b less than n value, right? So now actually, according to this case, I need to add the subarray values, right, from 0 to 2, 4 to 5 and 7 to 9. So then only I can able to find the sum value. So for that I just try to write a separate method for this to add the subarray values. So I just declare it as in starting int of the sum value. So I just get on into array values and a value and b value. Right? So now I need to add the sub values, right, from the range of a to b. So here why I declared 3 values is nothing but int of z is an array. Okay, consider I goes to get 2 values a and then b. So a and b is nothing but the starting and index ending of the subarray, right? So I goes to start an array values from a and I goes to complete that array values to b and I just goes to increment the values, right? So here what we goes to do is okay, I need to add the values. So for that I just declare one more variable as yes. So plus I just goes to add the z of ith value. So now with the help of this I goes to add the array subarray values from the range of a to b, right? So then I just goes to store it in the name of yes and I just goes to return that s value. Fine. So I just goes to return that s value. Now, okay, I just get an subarray values. Now, what is the next thing? So I need to take out these values, right? So 0 comma a minus 1 to a plus 1 comma b minus 1 to b plus 1 comma n minus 1. So to find out these values, I just declare an subarrays, right? So it's nothing but well, okay, I declare 3 variables, s1 and then s2 and then s3. So here s1 is nothing but the first subarray values. Okay, what is the first array subarray starts? So it start from 0th index to a minus 1. So I just goes to give it directly. So sum of, I call this method sum of the array value, the array, and the starting of the value is nothing but 0 and the ending of the value is nothing but a minus 1, right? So likewise here I need to take the array values from a plus 1 to b minus 1. So I take this subarray values from sum of, I want to pass this z array parallelly. So I just want to pass the a plus 1th index position to b minus 1th value, right? Now here z array and b plus 1 to n minus 1. right? So it just goes to take over this values. Right. Now, what is the question actually? All these sum values should be equal. So here I goes to check an if condition. So actually, so what is I'm going to do is I write down separate method to add the array values. So parallel, instead of giving an array values alone, I just give another two index values a and then b. So here don't make it confusion. So it's nothing but here a is being working as ranges. So or else if you have a confusion, just take a values as like this: the starting value and an end value. So it's start and here it's end, right? So I just create on separate method sum. Here I just goes to pass the array values, and in the name of yes I goes to add the array values z of ith position values. But instead of adding all the values, I just goes to add only some particular index position. Is nothing but it goes to add only particular subarrays. So here it start from 0th index. So here I just get it in the name of start, and here is a minus 1. So I just goes to get the a minus 1 value in the name of end, right? So it just goes to add these values, and the value s is returned to this particular position s1, right? Similarly, for an s2 I goes to pass the array values as a plus 1 and b minus 1. So here I just goes to pass start is equal to b plus a plus 1 and end is equal to b minus 1. For an s3, start is equal to b plus 1, end is equal to n minus 1. So it just goes to pass all these values. Now according to the question, all these values are equal. If it is equal means I just want to return the a and b value, right? So here I just give an if condition. If the value if the value is s1 is equal to s2 and the s2 is equal to s3 means I just finally return the answer as true. So for now, once I find this all this sum by s1, s2, s3 is equal, I don't want to run this loop after this. So I just break the loop here itself. So and I want to return a and b value, right? So for that I just declare two values, x and then y. So I just declare x is equal to a and then y is equal to b. Okay. At starting I declare two values as like this: x is equal to minus 1. Okay, I just want to declare. So int x is equal to minus 1 and y is equal to minus 1, right? So why? Because they mentioned two cases here. If I can't able to find out this values particular equipair means I want to return the answer as array does not contain any equipair, right? Array does not contain equipair, right? So that's why I need to check this case. So I just declare this one as here. So if x is not equal to minus 1 and y is not equal to y is not equal to minus 1, I just goes to print the answer as like this. The x value comma the y value, and parallelly I need to print the values of this ranges also. So I just use this one. parenthesis of 0 plus the x minus 1 comma sorry, so I just want to use the comma here, so comma plus x comma x minus 1. So after this I just want to give a bracket, so I just write in only one value here. Likewise I just can able to give the values as 0 comma x minus 1. After this I just goes to give another values comma bracket. I just want to give what is the value a plus 1 comma b, so I just goes to give x plus 1 comma plus comma plus y minus 1 plus, okay, the statement is goes bigger, so comma bracket. Okay, after this I just want to print the value of b plus 1, so I just goes to give y plus 1 plus comma plus the n minus 1 value, so plus, so I just give this statement as it is. Right now I just try to run this one. Proceed. Okay, get some error. What is an error? The 38th line. Okay, I forgot to give a plus here. Okay, I just give the same values. So what is the values? I just copy this one and just paste it here. The values are 10 and the array value is equal to something. So now I get the answer, right? So here, sorry, so here I just get the same answer as 0 comma 2 4 comma 5 and 7 comma 9 and 3 comma 6, right? Okay, I hope you get an idea of this, right? So what we done is I just get an array values as input and declare two values x and y. So to find out the a and b value, so I need to find out three subarrays, 0 to a minus 1 plus a plus 1 to b minus 1 and b plus 1 to n minus 1. So I need to change the subarray sizes each and every time, so I using a for loop and changing the a and b value each and every time. So once I find out all this sum array values are sum of subarray values are equal, so I just return that particular a and b value in the name of x and y. So finally I just print it here, right? So to add the subarray values, here I am using a separate method in the name of sum. But okay, I hope you get an idea with this one, right? But the problem is, if you check here means each and every time I am running 3 and each and every time we call this sum method for 3 times. So obviously if we call this for 3 times, it's running for one O of n time complexity. It's running one particular entire subarray, right? I'm sorry, it goes to run entire array. If I call this 2 3 subarrays means why? Because the one, consider the array size is n, so I goes to split it this sub array into 3 parts. So I goes to call this method sum. So it goes to add that subarray values. So obviously it takes time complexity of O of n. So if I call it for only one time means okay, that's fine. But actually I am calling this for so many times by changing the a and b value. So each and every time I'm checking the values of this a and b by changing this a and b values. So each and every time I adding the different subarray values. But obviously it goes to in the same array only. So it each and every time goes to run for O of n times, right? But if it runs for so many times, maybe what if the array value is higher? That okay, give some 10 or 20 values means it takes too much time, right? So I need to reduce this time complexity also. So what should I do for this? So what should I do for this? So if you check here means what we done, we are trying to adding this array values a3 to up to the 8th index position. If 8th index position is 2 means we goes to add the previous index position values. If a index position is 3 is we try to add the previous index position values. So likewise if it is an b means we goes to add the next remaining index position values and try to add the previous index position values up to the before a, right? So what we gonna do is I just goes to create an array as values like this. Okay, just I copy this one. Okay, so instead of calling this find out the sum value for each and every time, what we goes to do is we try to create one more array by adding this all this array values. So here in the 0th index position I just goes to store the value as 8 as it is. Okay, consider this is an Z array, right? And consider I goes to create one more array in the name of sum. So here and okay, what we goes to do is in sum of 0, in the second array sum, in the sum of 0 I goes to store the sum of the array values up to 0th index position. So 0th index position value is 8, I just store as it is. So in the sum of 1 I goes to store the sum of index position values up to the first index. So here I just goes to store the array values of up to the first index. So first index position is nothing but 3 and the previous index position value 8. So 8 plus 3, I just goes to get a value as what? I just goes to get a value as 8 plus 3 just 11, right? So now for a sum of 2 I goes to store up to the second index position. I goes to store the sum of the values up to second index position. So 8 plus 3 plus 5, I get the answer as 16. So instead of adding all these values, I already stored the sum of these two values in the first index position. Instead of adding this all these three values, I just stored the sum of these two values in the first index position. So I just goes to add this sum of 1 with the z of 2. So 11 plus 5, I just get the answer as 16. Likewise, for a third index position, I already have the sum of all these three values in the second index position of sum. So now I goes to add the sum of 2 with the z of 3. So it becomes 18, and sum of 3 is equal to z of 4, it becomes 28, and then 28 plus 6, it becomes, okay, I just step out this. Right, so 28 plus 6, it becomes 34. So 34 plus 7, it becomes, okay, it's 41. So 41 plus 9, it becomes 50. So 50 plus 5, and 55 plus 2. So I get the values as like this. Right, so I just get this array values. What is the purpose of this? So here, if it goes to store in this format, means I don't want to check all the values, all the subarray values each and every time. Instead of this, I goes to take the particular subarray part. Okay, consider the array value is equal to a value is equal to 2. Now I need to add, I need to get the sum of 0 and then 1. So I don't want to add these values once again. Okay, consider, okay, just take the same value once again. A is equal to, okay, consider A is equal to 3, and then B is equal to 6. Now if A is equal to 3 means I need to add this 0th index to second index position. So 8 plus 3 plus 5. So what is the answer? 16. So instead of this, I goes to take the previous index position now. Okay, A is equal to 3. So now I just goes to take the sum of A minus 1th position value. What is the answer? Is nothing but 16. Right? Is nothing but 60. Right? Okay, I try to increase. Sum of A minus 1 is nothing but 16 for this again. Now if A is equal to 3 means I need to add up to A plus 1 to B minus 1, right? So A plus 1 means 4, B minus 1 means 5. So I just want to add these two values. So what is the addition of these two values? 10 and then 6 is nothing but 16. So here, instead of adding this all these values, okay, where is this value is applicable? In the next position. So I just want to take this particular position value, right? So I need to add this one. So what I goes to do is, I goes to take the value as sum of B minus 1. I goes to, what is the B minus 1 value? Is nothing but 5. So I need to add, okay, why? Because I need to add up to the 5th index position, right? So 4 to 5. So I goes to minus this particular value with the, okay, I need only up to add these two values, 10, 4 and 5. So here up to the 5th index, here actually what is the value stored in the 5th index is nothing but sum of the values of z array up to the 5th index. So the sum of 5th index is nothing but sum of z of 0 to z of 5. So I just have a sum of all these values. So now what I goes to do is, I goes to minus the 5th index position value B minus 1 with the sum of B. Why? Because I need to find out the sum of the value from A plus 1 to B minus 1. So that's why I start from B minus 1, I goes to minus that value with the 8th position. Okay, it's now 34 minus 18. What is the answer? 34 minus 18. So I just get the answer as 60. sorry, 16, right? So here I just get the answer 16. So now I just get a subarray of, okay, just get a subarray of this particular part. Likewise, what is the next subarray value? I just want to take this b is equal to 6 means I need to add this last three values 7, 8 and a 9, right? So now I already having the b value is nothing but 6. Now I want to minus this b value with the last position. So what is the last position value? Sum of last position is nothing but 57, is nothing but all the values of z, sum of all the values of z. So I need only a sum of 7th, 8th and 9th index position. So what I goes to do is I goes to minus this last index position value with the 6th index position value. Why? Because up to 6th index position I have the sum of all these values. So what if I minus this value with the last index? So obviously I get the sum of only these three values alone. So here sum is equal to the 9th index position is nothing but n minus 1 minus sum of, it is the sum of all the values in the array. I need only the last three index position value, sum of last three index position. So 9 plus 5 plus 2. So what I goes to do is simply I goes to minus this last value with the 41. So it's nothing but b. So then I get a subarray sum of subarray of b plus 1 to n minus 1. So 9 plus 5 plus 2. So let's check sum of b. So here I just get the answer as 57 minus 41. So what is the answer is nothing but I get the answer as 60. I get the answer as 60. So here what is the positive is I don't want to run this sum method for each and every time, so I can able to reduce the time complexity here. So what we goes to do is instead of using the sum method, here parallelly I just goes to create one more array sum at the size of new int of the n value. I goes to make that, okay, here there is, if you check here means there is no more previous value for 0th index. So I make sum of 0 is equal to what, z of I as it is, z of 0 as it is. Now I goes to run this for loop from first index position to last index n minus 1. So I goes to increment the I value. So each and every time I goes to add sum of I, at starting I is equal to 1, so sum of 1 is equal to z of I plus sum of z of I plus sum of I minus 1, right? So z of I is nothing but what, the first index position value z of I plus sum of I minus 1. So sum of 0 is nothing but 8. So 8 plus 3 I get an answer as 11. So for the next time I is equal to 2. Now z of I is equal to 5 plus sum of I minus 1. So sum of 1 is equal to 11. So 11 plus 5 get an answer as 16. So likewise it goes to add all these values and store it in the name of subarray, right? Now here it just goes to implement the same thing here. It just goes to implement this same thing in this position. So instead of this calling this sum method, I just goes to include this line. Okay, just I minimize this one. So instead of this one, I just goes to call sum of a minus 1. A minus 1, right? So here actually I am calling an array instead of calling a method, right? But here I may get one problem. What is it? Actually, I'm starting this for loop also from 0. So if I try to give sum of a minus 1 means I get an error. So what we goes to do is, so before storing this one, I just check one thing. If a is greater than 0 means I goes to take sum of a minus 1, or else I take the value as 0, right? Now it didn't goes to get any error. Why? Because if at the starting a should be 0, so sum of 0 minus 1, it takes sum of minus 1. There is no index position like that, so obviously I get an error. So that's why I check this condition, whether a is greater than 0, then I take the a of minus 1. So obviously it takes the 0th index position. If it is starting at the starting it is in 0th index position means I go to take the value as 0, right? Now here I goes to change this one. It's nothing but sum of b minus 1 is equal to, okay, just copy, I just goes to paste it here, and sum of n minus 1 is equal to sum of p. So here s3 is equal to sum of n minus 1 minus sum of p, right? So and finally I just goes to check the same thing. Now I try to run this one. Okay, just give the values. Okay, just copy the values. Right? So now also I just get the same answer as well. Right? So actually in the, okay, we are just seeing a brute force approach also, and we just see the optimized approach of this question also, right? So that's all about this class. We will see you in the next class. Thank you.